The movie begins with a strange woman named Dolly. She is sitting inside a filthy room, surrounded by flies and countless dolls. Even her face is hidden behind a doll mask, making her look even more disturbing. Her hands and legs are covered in blood, but the blood does not belong to her. It belongs to a dead body lying near her. Dolly is playing with that corpse as if it is just another doll in her collection. The scene then cuts to Macy, who drops her daughter at daycare along with her husband. The couple has planned a trip for the day, so they head into a quiet forest to spend some peaceful time together. While Macy and her husband enjoy the beauty of the forest, Dolly is also seen walking through another side of the woods. She is carrying many dolls in her hands along with a dead body. Dolly stops at a specific place in the forest, where she has already arranged many dolls. This place looks like her own twisted territory. She then digs a large hole among the dolls and places the dead body inside it. A little later, Macy and her husband walk deeper into the forest and notice many dolls placed everywhere. But instead of getting scared, they laugh at the strange sight and continue walking. After this, the couple goes near a lake to relax. But before they can enjoy the moment, they suddenly hear a strange and terrifying sound coming from the forest. We soon realize that Dolly is the one who played that sound through one of her dolls. The noise disturbs both of them, so Macy's husband decides to go into the forest and find out where it is coming from. As he walks through the woods, he reaches Dolly's area. There, he sees Dolly behaving in a very strange and disturbing way. At first, he thinks she might be mentally unstable and lost in the forest. He decides to help her and tries to take her home. But the moment he goes near Dolly, she becomes frightened and attacks him. First, Dolly chokes him and throws him to the ground. Before he can recover, she picks up a heavy tool and stabs him in the arms. Then she attacks his mouth, breaking his jaw and leaving him unconscious. After some time, Macy notices that her husband has not returned. Worried, she walks into the forest to search for him. Soon, she reaches the area where Dolly has taken him. Macy sees the dolls first, and then she notices a body lying there. Terrified, she screams loudly. Hearing Macy's scream, Dolly comes toward her. Macy immediately asks where her husband is, but Dolly does not answer. Then Macy sees her husband. He is in a terrible condition, bleeding heavily from his mouth and lying unconscious. Macy thinks he is dead, and she realizes that Dolly is responsible for this. Macy runs toward him to save him, but suddenly, her foot gets caught near a rock. She falls down, hits her head on another rock, and loses consciousness. After a while, Macy wakes up and slowly tries to recover. But Dolly comes back, grabs her by the hair, and slaps her. Dolly then tries to communicate with Macy using strange hand gestures. But because of her mask and unclear movements, Macy cannot understand what she is trying to say. To Macy, Dolly's actions only look like a threat. So she grabs a sharp object and stabs Dolly with it, hoping to stop her. But this only makes Dolly even more violent. In anger, Dolly chokes Macy until she passes out again. Then she drags Macy into a house hidden deep inside the woods. After a long time, Macy wakes up inside a baby's room. The room is filled with dolls, and everything is decorated in pink, as if it was made for a baby. But the most terrifying part is that Macy herself is dressed in baby clothes and is lying inside a baby cot. She quickly gets up and tries to escape, but the door is locked from outside. Suddenly, Macy hears strange sounds coming from the other side of the wall. She moves closer and realizes there is another room beside hers. Inside that room, Dolly has locked up a man. The man tells Macy that Dolly has kept him trapped there for years. He says he was never able to escape because there was no one to help him. He tells Macy that he did not bring her here, but now that she is here, they can help each other escape. Then he explains that she must get the silver key hanging around Dolly's neck because Dolly uses that key to lock everything. The man promises that if Macy gets the key, he will help her get out of the house and save her. To help Macy survive, the man gives her one important warning. He tells her that Dolly thinks Macy is a doll. That is why she will treat her like one. So, if Macy wants to stay alive and trick Dolly, she must act like a doll too. Just then, Dolly enters the room, moving in her strange and unnatural way. Her hands are still covered in blood, and Macy becomes even more frightened after seeing her. Dolly grabs Macy and drags her away. Then she lays her down on a table like a baby.
After that, Dolly takes a large diaper and forcefully puts it on Macy.
Macy is horrified, but she cannot do anything, so she stays silent and carefully observes the house. She notices that the doors are locked with heavy iron chains, making escape almost impossible. Meanwhile, in the forest, Macy's husband finally wakes up, but by this time, he has lost too much blood. He is extremely weak, and after taking only a few steps, he collapses and falls unconscious again. Back inside the house, Dolly starts cleaning Macy's wounds. But Macy is still angry and terrified, so she pushes Dolly's hand away. This makes Dolly angry too, but for now, she controls herself and does not hurt Macy. Suddenly, Dolly remembers that the knife Macy used to stab her in the forest is still stuck inside her body. She pulls it out, and blood begins pouring heavily from the wound. Because of the blood loss, Dolly suddenly faints. Macy sees this as the perfect chance to escape, but Dolly has already tied her to a chair. With great difficulty, Macy manages to free herself. She quickly tries to open the door and run away, but before she can escape, Dolly wakes up and grabs her from behind. Now, Dolly is furious. She hits Macy brutally with a belt, and Macy screams in pain. To make her stop, Macy keeps apologizing again and again. After hearing this, Dolly finally stops hitting her and tries to calm herself through her strange gestures. After this, Dolly cooks food and forcefully tries to feed Macy, but Macy cannot swallow it and keeps spitting it out. Dolly does not like this at all. She controls her anger again and brings a feeding bottle from the fridge. Dolly pushes the bottle into Macy's mouth, but Macy spits that out too. This time, Dolly loses control and throws things around the room. But even now, she does not directly hurt Macy again. After calming down, she tries to feed Macy once more. Seeing a chance, Macy suddenly bites Dolly. Dolly falls to the ground, writhing in pain. Using this moment, Macy runs away and goes to the room where she had earlier heard the trapped man's voice. Macy asks him where she can find the key. The man tells her that it might be in the basement, but Macy cannot go there immediately because Dolly is nearby. So, Macy enters Dolly's room and starts searching everywhere for the key. When she does not find it, she decides to leave. But just then, she notices Dolly coming upstairs. To avoid Dolly, Macy quickly goes downstairs. There, she sees the basement door and enters it. But inside, the basement looks completely different from the rest of the house. The room is beautifully decorated with dolls and glowing candles. At first, everything looks strangely peaceful. But then Macy notices a container. Inside the container is a girl's head, wearing a doll mask. Around the head's neck, Macy sees the same key she is looking for. Macy is horrified, and she finally understands how dangerous Dolly really is. Still, she does not waste time. She quickly removes the key from the necklace and prepares to escape. But suddenly, Dolly appears behind her and attacks her. She bites Macy's ear and then violently drags her back to the baby room. Now Dolly behaves like a mother trying to calm down an angry child. She tries to soothe Macy in her own disturbing way. Macy notices that Dolly has taken the key and placed it around her own neck. So, Macy changes her approach. Instead of fighting, she quietly sits on Dolly's lap. Dolly lays Macy down gently and begins stroking her like a baby. After that, Dolly sews Macy's wounds and rocks her to sleep on her lap. Eventually, Dolly falls asleep while rocking her. Once Macy is sure Dolly is fully asleep, she carefully takes the key from around Dolly's neck. Then she goes to the room next door, where the man is locked inside. The key works, and Macy opens the door. Using a torch, she looks inside and sees the man chained in terrible condition. The man immediately tells Macy to free him quickly, saying that only then can he save both of them. Macy gives him the key and starts looking around the room. A little further away, she sees another body. It is still moving slightly and gives off a terrible smell. Macy is shocked and disturbed by this. The man tells her that the body belongs to his brother, who came there to rescue him. But Dolly killed him too. While Macy is distracted, the man suddenly grabs her from behind and holds her by the neck. He tells her that he will use her to escape because he has no other way out. He explains that he knows Dolly's weakness very well. Dolly protects her belongings carefully, and she will do anything to get them back. To Dolly, Macy is nothing more than a doll or an object, and that is exactly why he plans to use her. This makes it clear that the man has betrayed Macy. Holding her captive, he drags her to the kitchen and orders her to call Dolly. When Macy refuses, he hurts her already injured ear. Macy screams in pain, and Dolly hears her from upstairs. Dolly comes downstairs immediately. The man threatens her and says that if she does not open the door, he will kill Macy. Dolly drops everything in her hands and gives up. She calmly walks toward the door and starts unlocking it. But while Dolly is busy opening the door, the man picks up one of Dolly's tools and attacks her. He is about to break her mask and kill her. Suddenly, a knife hits him from behind, striking his waist. Macy is the one who threw it. She does this not because she wants to save Dolly, but because she realizes that this man is dangerous for both of them. But the man is too strong and cruel. Macy's attack barely affects him. He turns toward Macy and moves in to kill her. Before he can attack her, Dolly suddenly jumps on him from behind. The man falls to the ground, and Dolly beats him again and again with her tool. She hits him so violently that he bleeds to death. After seeing Dolly's terrifying rage, Macy becomes even more frightened. She panics and screams. Dolly then grabs Macy by the hair and drags her back to the baby room. Now Dolly becomes extremely angry. She knows the man escaped only because Macy helped him. Furious, she starts breaking everything inside the room. Using this chance, Macy tries to escape once again. But Dolly catches her from behind and starts choking her for trying to run away. Before Macy loses her life, she uses Dolly's biggest weakness. She looks at Dolly and says, "Mom, I am sorry. I love you." Macy understands that Dolly feels abandoned and desperately wants the love of a child. So she uses those words to make Dolly emotionally weak and free herself. Just then, Macy hears her husband's voice from outside. She becomes overjoyed, realizing that he is still alive and has come to save her. But Macy cannot escape through the front door because Dolly is standing there. So she takes a dangerous risk. She runs toward a window, jumps through it, breaks the glass, and falls outside the building. Macy is badly hurt from the fall, and her face is injured. But she does not care about the pain. She only wants to reach her husband. From the window, Dolly watches everything. She realizes that Macy's husband has taken her doll away from her. This makes Dolly even more furious. In rage, Dolly rushes downstairs and attacks Macy's husband. Macy tries to stop her, but Dolly knocks Macy down. Then Dolly grabs the man's already broken mouth and tears his jaw apart. His upper jaw separates from his lower jaw, and after suffering terrible pain, he dies. Seeing her husband die in front of her, Macy is horrified. She runs into the woods to save herself, while Dolly chases after her. Inside the forest, Macy finds a stick and starts hitting Dolly with it to protect herself. But Dolly is far stronger than her and keeps overpowering her again and again. During the struggle, Macy angrily breaks Dolly's mask. The moment Dolly sees her mask broken, she panics and runs away. Macy tries to use this moment to escape, but her foot slips, and she falls into a pit. This is the same pit shown at the beginning, where Dolly had buried a dead body. Before Macy can climb out, Dolly returns and tries to attack her from every side. Macy quickly grabs the dead body inside the pit and warns Dolly to stay back, or she will throw it away. Since Dolly is deeply attached to her belongings, she immediately drops her weapon and begs Macy to return the body. But Macy throws the body away. Then she grabs Dolly's weapon and attacks her with all her strength. She hits Dolly so hard that Dolly falls unconscious into the pit. Macy finally gets a chance to escape. As Macy runs through the forest, she sees a police officer on the other side. She quickly reaches him and explains everything. She tells him that a woman wearing a doll mask killed her husband and is now chasing her. She also says this woman has killed many others and is extremely dangerous. The officer sees how badly shaken Macy is and tells her to get inside the car. Then he quickly tries to contact his team for help. But before Macy can explain everything clearly, Dolly suddenly appears in front of them, looking more dangerous than ever. The officer realizes the danger and tries to drive away instead of fighting her. But Dolly reaches him first and kills him with a brutal blow to the head. After killing the officer, Dolly starts taunting Macy, as if she is showing her that even the person she ran to for help could not save her. Then Dolly begins breaking into the car. Macy notices that the car keys are still inside. Without wasting a second, she moves to the driver's seat and starts the car. Dolly stands in front of the car trying to stop her. But this time, Macy does not hesitate. She drives the car straight into Dolly with full force. This final hit kills Dolly. Macy feels no sadness. She only feels relief, knowing that she has saved herself and ended the nightmare for everyone Dolly had tortured. After defeating Dolly, Macy takes a deep breath, sits inside the car, and drives away from the forest alone.